See, we're in the same shirt. Last video. The video I've been wanting to record for a while. You can tell by the title. It's a very controversial title. With the events going on, it's kind of interesting to see all the LeBron hate, right? I think it's funny. Some of it, it's a joke, right? I guess like Lil Snitch or whatever you want to call him. I guess it's funny. This video is about how, obviously, I believe Kobe Bryant is overrated. I don't want to hear anything saying I'm a fake fan or anything. One of the first jersey I've ever owned was a Kobe jersey. Have it in my closet over there. Literally got a Kobe poster right there. He's on another one right there. Just rebought his jersey. I think it was the purple one this time. So I have both colors, the yellow and purple. And then sleeving up my cards. And it's interesting to me because before he died, Kobe wasn't held to this light, you know. I guess we hold individuals to higher standards after they're gone, you know. Like, for example, I'll take rap into this. When Juice WRLD died, you know, everybody was saying he was the greatest of all time, like one of the GOATs, you know, GOAT's greatest of all time. And I've listened to a decent amount of his music, and I thought it was alright. I enjoyed it. For me to say he had a classic album of any kind, that's a bit of a stretch. That's a far reach. So we kind of put these people on a pedestal after they pass or something, right? But I remember before Kobe's passing, he was hated. You know, it's weird for me to see after he passed that everybody suddenly comes out and he was so beloved. Remember before he passed, people branded him as a ball hog, always in Shaq's shadow for the first three. Whether it be true or false, I mean, this is what people were saying. And now, people changed their opinions because the man tragically passed away. And it's just kind of an annoyance to me how that happens. Now all of a sudden, he's an all-time great. He's always been an all-time great. But now all of a sudden, people put him in their top threes. That's top twos even. That's crazy. You know, I don't think anybody who really watches the sports puts Kobe Bryant in their top two all time. I guess the argument was he's the closest to Jordan, so he's number two because people have Jordan as the GOAT. I don't know what kind of logic is that. I mean, you could be the closest to Jordan, but not quite like Jordan. You know, yeah, it's just really, it really frustrates me when they do this. And all the LeBron hate is probably why he gets projected so high. People are saying Kobe's greater than LeBron all the time, and that's mind blowing. That's mind blowing to me. I've never thought I would hear such a thing, you know? Listen, I ain't the biggest LeBron fan, and I ain't a hater. But to look at this man's accomplishments and to put him down, just to hate on him, you know, people genuinely hate this man. I don't know why. He's a genuinely good man. I mean, listen, the Isaiah Stewart thing, whatever, okay? People sending this man death, like, people wish this man death. I was reading this post, I forgot what it was about. Probably like a GOAT debate or something. Somebody in the comments, so it's pretty high up in the comments, and somebody said that he wished that it was LeBron in the helicopter instead of Kobe. And I'm just like, why? Wishing death on somebody is, disgusting. No matter how much you hate them, depending on the people. I mean, but for a man who has done nothing but fight for the inequalities African Americans face in America, try to bring up people. It's really disgusting to see people wish death upon him. He has done so much. He's brought to light so many social issues. You know what I'm saying? And for people just to look over that and look at him just for basketball and nothing more, it's like really disheartening to me. There's genuinely bad players out there. Players that beat their wives, beat their kids, do horrible things, robberies, kill people, and they don't get as much hate as LeBron James does. And it's looking at Tom Brady, who's the biggest in his sport, football. He doesn't even get hate like that. People respect them. But for Kobe to get this much love after his passing, and then LeBron James to suddenly get all this hate, it's like I guess it's funny to see like Le Flop, La Crybaby, whatever you want to call him. But to take away anything he has done in his life because of his basketball career, you're not a real basketball fan if these are your opinions on him. And I think that's why Kobe is overrated too. After he died, suddenly they put him in the same tier as like Jordan and LeBron. And I don't even understand why it matters that much. People just can't celebrate his career. His 5 championships for what they were, his career for what it was. He wasn't the greatest of all time. I wouldn't even say he was top 5 of all time. Some people have him top 7. I have him top 10. And then for people to, do that, it's just, it's really odd to me. I guess Mamba mentality, that was a thing, But that doesn't always translate to being the best on the court for him. And I like to look at Kobe's career for more than what he did in the NBA. And I like to look at a lot of players for more than what they did in the NBA or their respective sports. Like, like I look at his investments outside of the NBA. What was it? Body Armor. That's right. His family's reaping the benefits, which is an amazing thing, right? $350 million. I forgot who bought it. I think Coke was. But the man made $350 million off an investment. You know how crazy that is? How hard it is for the minority to propel themselves to get out of these neighborhoods, make it to the NBA, and then on top of that, outside of the NBA, they made more money. And a lot of these players, ones who help outside the NBA, help out communities. Do a lot of things for these communities, and it's often overlooked because people say they're rich and don't really look at that. But they don't have to help these communities. It's their own money, and they worked hard to achieve that. And I look at his legacy for more than what he did in the NFL. I don't think a lot of people do. I think that's somebody doing construction. And it's just really disheartening to me, for me, seeing LeBron James getting this much hate. I mean, I just don't know what to say, Reading all these people and what they're saying, it's just, it makes me look back and realize this is what this type of hate Kobe was getting before he sadly passed away. Whether people want to admit it or not, well, not to this degree, but people were always putting down his legacy because he was a ball hog or whatever, and now they're kind of doing that to LeBron. And just because of his death, they propel him up. He isn't top 3 of all time. He is in top 5 of all time. And I don't know why people find that as an insult. You know, he was great. He was an amazing basketball player. Top in his era. He was never the top in an era, I would say. The 2000s. Shaq had early 2000s. Tim Duncan, early, mid, late 2000s, you know. I never thought Kobe... You know, I was born in 2004. All I can see is highlights, stats. People can tell me if you watched him, you would think differently. But people obviously who watched him didn't think much differently, because before he passed away, I never really heard him being brought up in top 3 of all time. And it's crazy, to me, honestly, that now all of a sudden people want to start saying things like that. Sorry I'm reiterating points here, but this video was more like why Kobe is overrated and why I don't understand why LeBron's so hated. The man's good at his sport, you know. It's weird. LeBron has done so much for communities. He's a great father. He's a great husband. You know, as you can see, he's there for his son. And that lady, they called him a snitch after, but I guess she said she hoped his son would die in a car crash. And I just don't. He did what I think was the best option to do, is just kick those people out. I mean, what'd you want him to do? Nothing? Stay quiet? Punch somebody? Then what? You're gonna call him assault or something? It's really annoying to me. I'm a Lakers fan, right? I mean, if you want to say that's why, then go ahead. I don't really have an opinion on it. But I was a really big Kobe fan. And for them to suddenly say he's top 3 of all time. As a Kobe fan, and I feel like most people who are basketball fans would know he's not. I would argue he's not even top 3 Lakers of all time. I'd probably give that to Magic, Kareem, and Shaq. If you want to give the totality of their Lakers careers, then of course he's top 3 of all time. But if you just want to give what they did for their careers and they played in the Lakers, then no. I mean, players who played for Lakers, you probably have LeBron over them too. But I just hope people don't take this for, hey, I think Kobe sucks or something, because he doesn't. He's an all-time great. I'm a big fan of Kobe. It's just people wishing death on another player to propel this player, and saying this one sucks to propel the greatness of this player. It's just, I don't get it. It's really confusing to me why people do this. It's just, you're not a real fan. You're just a Kobe fan. I hate saying Kobe fan, but that's really what they are. They're just Kobe fans. They're not NBA fans. They're just Kobe fans. My bad. Oh, jeez. Yeah, but I don't know what else to say. It's just, I just hope that all this, one day when we look back, it's one of those things that people rate it accordingly. I mean, players are going to come and go. LeBron's going to retire one day. You know, I just hope people started remembering these players for what they did in the sport and outside the sport. It's just, you know, Kobe did all these things, but now people suddenly want to remember him for something more. If that makes any sense. This video is kind of dragging on. Like I said, I'm not the biggest LeBron fan or LeBron hater. You know, this is neutral about the guy. I mean, I recognize his greatness. I say he's top 2 all time. 1 and 2 are interchangeable. Realistically, what he's done in his career really has never been done before. Like, if you want to say Bill Russell with the 13, I mean, what is it, 11 championships in 13 years? Yeah, 11 championships in 13 years or whatever. And go ahead, but what LeBron has done, really, it should be like something that we recognize and something that we're like, wow, it's crazy that we got to see this in our lifetime. Same thing for Kobe. You know, wow, it's crazy that we got to see this player in our lifetime. Then the next generation, instead of putting down LeBron James, saying, oh, 4 and 6 in the finals. Oh, he choked. Oh, this, oh, that. I mean, just can't recognize a player's greatness. This is really annoying. It's like, if we talked about Charles Barkley back in the day. It's way before my time, but he's a Hall of Famer. He don't have no rings, but people will still recognize his greatness. It's crazier to me that a lot of people now, when reading comments, I mean, comments should be hellfire anywhere. Reading comments, people are talking about LeBron isn't even top 10, and I'm like, Jesus, what more do you want from the man? I don't know. I mean, it's more of who you're a fan of that you're tilting for who you think is the greatest of all time. And me, I just enjoy the sport. I don't really bring anything else into it. If you want to have a debate on who's the greatest, have a fun time doing it. I mean, I don't know why people put others down to strengthen their argument. It just makes your argument weaker. And I know the totality of this video, I didn't really write a script for it or anything, as you would know. But these are just my thoughts from the top of my head. I might have talked on for way too long. These are just my thoughts on the situation. And I just hope people appreciate Kobe's career and everybody's career to the fullest. Realize they're all greats. But for people to rate Kobe better than he actually was, I'm not going to say anything. Everybody has an opinion, but this is why I believe he's overrated. But this is also a respect for who he was and what he did outside of his career. And, you know, Obama mentality, you know, shooting Kobe. This is things we know him for. And it's just, that's about all. Also, I mean, if you want to say mean things to me, I don't really care. It's just people over the internet, so I'm a big Kobe fan, and I hope most people are too. If you're not, then oh well. Whatever spectrum you fall on. But thanks for watching.